What's up? We got the gang all here. Carter, glad you're here.
Thank you.
Isaac, you're looking good today.
Why, thank you, sir. Glad to be here.
Avery, we're sorry you're not with us, but we're equally glad you're here.
Forever in my heart.
Yes, and on screens. All right, episode 33, and we've got the team here. No one special to interview, but the most special people ourselves. And we got a good one cooking up a year in review, or Ripstop year in review. But two quick announcements. One, we're doing this super rad thing, which is a customer survey or a maker survey, where we're trying to get better information about what it is you want from us next year. So, although it probably doesn't need to be said, we want to carry the best products, we want to make the best kits, and we want to create the best content. But in order to do that, we have to know what it is you're looking for and know how we can do the best with that. So we're trying to talk to the products team about what fabrics to bring on, what kits they're going to make, what videos we're going to produce afterwards, all that stuff. So there's a lot happening there. But the customer survey is going to be amazing. And I know that Isaac particularly is excited for all of his bushcraft people to come out of the weeds and, give him all of the extra support that he wanted.
Actually, I think the correct term there is come out of the woodwork.
Come out of the bush.
He's actually, revealed himself from the bush is what I was going to say.
Yeah. Take off those ghillie suits.
Handmade ghillie suits. That's right. So if that's what you want, then put that in the survey. But I know that Carter's definitely relying on his hammock and his ultralight buddies to come out and make sure that they show their customer support loud and proud.
Yeah, I don't think there's bushcrafters might have to fight for a spot. I think we're pretty much up there with the top tier cream of the crop circle.
I am very much pulling for the cycling crew. We'll see. I sometimes it's hard to tell if what we see is data related or just pure bias, but I think with the algorithm, it's just pure bias. So I think there's way more DIY cyclists out there than there actually are, but we're about to find out. We'll get actual info for it.
Yeah. So I asked for a new bike for Christmas and, just been getting into biking recently because Jameson and Carter are super into biking and, I just want to be like the cool guys. So I'm pretty sure all of my ads and everything on social media are focused on biking. And it's kind of weird because up until this point, it's always been hunting, fishing, bushcraft focused. And now I'm getting ads for biking.
Mine are all literally 2022 Nissan Frontier, which is the truck that Isaac got recently. And for whatever reason, they just serve that up to me 400 times a day across every platform. Have you seen the new Nissan Frontier? And I'm just yes, I have.
Find your new frontier.
Free sponsored content is just all crime podcasts. Right?
All crime and murder and everyone's gear that you're making.
Crime, murder, and gear. Sounds like a good day. So another reason to take the customer survey is we are giving 10% discount codes to everybody that fills out the survey, and you'll get that on your next order if set by the roll, as well as you'll be put in the running for you'll get one of three $100 Amazon gift cards. And we all know Amazon has lots of offers, so you probably want that. And then last but not least, if you share what it is that you're interested in, then we'll actually get to do that. So that might be the biggest win, even more than Amazon gift card, is us giving the content that you actually want. The other thing that you got to be aware of is we're doing maker questions for the next episode. So send us their questions. There's a lot of ways that you can do that. We'll share it on Instagram, so you can ask us there. You can ask by submitting a help ticket. We always answer questions there. There's a lot of ways. So let us know. I'm sure you have a lot of questions, as you always do. You guys never let us down there. So send us in, and we'll get the pros to answer, primarily Carter and Isaac. Avery and I will just listen and learn and help keep them on track when they go silly.
It's never happened.
And the other big thing that we have to announce today is, for the first time ever, we have is this a sponsored episode? Is that what this is technically?
Technically, yes. Well, yeah, we're famous.
Beer sponsored.
Yeah, this episode is brought to you by Thompson Island Brewing Company. And I have never been more happy to get free beer in my life. You look upset by that comment.
Y'all got hats on. I just realized.
Yeah, so shouts out to Thompson Island and also to Lance for hooking this up for us. Yeah, and anybody else out there that wants to send beer or whatever, if you pass the test potentially in the future, you could also be on my head. We'll see what happens.
Can be worn by Carter in the flesh.
Wear your skin.
Big shout out to Lance for getting us hooked up here. If anybody else wants to send us beer that you want us to talk about in the podcast and mention to you like this, I would be more than happy to drink pretty much whatever legal beverages you send us, and we will give them a shout out. We're super happy to have this. Send us hats if you want, because you can have the fine headpieces of Carter and Isaac worn like that. But yeah, we're going to pop these beers open. We'll tell you what we got, and then you'll hear our honest review of the Rehoboth Beach specialty.
All right, pass me one. Let's all three get a different one so we can read the names.
We got a.
Let me go grab some cups real quick.
All right, so I'll start. I have. Oh, I shouldn't have started. I need to read this first. The Escapades. This is a fruited sour, lingonberry, and cherry. I'm a big fan of lingonberry, so this sounds pretty amazing.
How are you a fan of lingonberry? Is that like a common like?
No, he just went to IKEA once.
That is exactly it.
Okay.
IKEA lingonberry syrup.
I have a double IPA called Good Times. Kind of sexy can too. I like that. And I love IPA, so this should be a happy time.
I have Once Around the Sun, a barrel-aged Imperial Stout. Happy anniversary.
Barrel-aged Imperial Stout sounds like it's going to be a heavy ABV. What you got on that one, Isaac?
So it says, before we get to that, it says slumbered for a year on bourbon and European port barrels. And the ABV.
Are you sure you should have that?
Is... I don't see it.
It's right there. Oh my god.
What are you talking about?
12.42.
Yeah, it's cut off, right?
Isaac
Mine
always
is
starts
7.
with the heavy hitters.
Isaac always gets the plus 10% beer.
Okay.
Still debating
Well,
on the
thank
alcohol
you.
volume.
I'm not debating anything. I just read it.
This is where you need to go watch the YouTube video. If you're listening to this on a audio system, then listen to the rest and then go back and watch Carter and Isaac have this interaction.
The worst part is that I was gaslighting him the whole time. There's no ABV on there.
Yeah. Thanks, Carter.
All right,
Really
let's crack
appreciate
these
that.
open and talk about this year.
So while we're getting these cracked open,
Wait, hold on, Avery, what do you have?
Well, I don't want to take away from the spotlight, but I
You are the
have.
spotlight.
Thanks. Look at this can; it's really cool.
That's dope.
It's called Infinite Lives. It's from Vermari Brewing, and it's a beer liner Weiss with pineapple, guava, marshmallow, lactose, and vanilla.
what did I do wrong?
That sounds amazing.
I have 90% head on my beer and like 10% actual beer.
I think you did everything wrong.
Yeah.
All right, as we
You
get
wipe
these
some.
cracked open, you guys get the pour, get the can pop.
This dude. What the?
While we're dealing with that, first order of business, first question that we're going over today is what was 2021's most influential product? So little context here. We released 56 new products this year alone, from components, fabrics, kits, makers, tools, all sorts of stuff. 56, maybe even more. I think that was a full head count, but there's a lot to pick from. And we kind of want to dive into what our favorites were and why they were so influential. So to start out, Carter, 2021's most influential new product.
Yeah, so I think maybe mine might be a little bit of a curveball compared to what others would think. I think we came out with a lot of really cool fabrics and we did a lot of awesome stuff. But the thing that I think is most exciting is actually the components that we've added this year in plastic and aluminum, metal, whatever. Because although like X50 or another cool like X-Pac variant is a pretty sweet fabric, I think 25 new components that allow you to make 100 different new things all under the same roof is like the coolest part. Because I don't know about you. Actually, I do know about you. And there are many times where we want to design something and then you realize that you don't have that plastic piece, and then now you just it's not perfect, and that can be kind of annoying if you spend a lot of time planning to not be able to do that. So we're going to continue to bring on more components. We have a lot of other things to add, because I think that that's the spot where we can grow, especially with the new space coming. Like, we should be able to stock any plastic component that people want. So yeah, I think that was the most important for me, is finally being able to start adding those on. And that's a huge shout out to Isaac too, because I've always wanted to add that stuff, but without like a capable team that can add 56 products in a year, like when it was just me or Kyle, like it just wasn't an option. So I'm happy to be able to provide that for everybody.
It's an area that we've been weak in as well. Like, we haven't had that many components. We haven't had enough, to be frank. So I think now that we have emphasized that this year is huge, because people are getting frustrated and they don't get to use the right thing. So I'm really pumped on that too. It's a good call. Isaac, your most influential product of the year?
So mine is kind of like two things. I really like the X-Pac X50 fabric, just because like I think the Aramid X ply on the back is just cool looking. Like, it's just kind of different. And then I like the 500D face, and I like the fact that it has, like, you can get it in camouflage. I like camo. I know I'm the oddball out here. But then, yeah, that being said, I'm also excited for the MultiCam Cordura, just because I think that some like MultiCam Tropic bike bags or MultiCam Black bike bags would be super cool. So
always down for the colorway black MultiCam, black X-Pac, black DCF. It's all good.
In other words, Jameson is boring.
I've said that. Avery, what's your pick?
I know this is a simple pick, but my favorite has been the Bear Bag Kit, only because I'm like a super nerd about leave no trace and yelling at people in the woods who aren't properly storing their food. So hopefully this will be kind of a nice merger to get people to hang their food and make it themselves. And if they feel like they can't splurge on, the more expensive cottage gear bear bag, they can make it their own and save a little bit of money. So I'm super excited about that. I love going in the woods, teaching how to like properly bear hang, and doing the PCT method, and some things that we're bringing on for that I think will be really awesome. So just teaching others about that. And yeah,
that product too, I mean, besides being a great design, we also include the Abductor Toggle, which changed my life in terms of bear bag hanging. And I think everyone, but that's a huge addition that I know everyone that is purchased that has been like, this is big. Like, the bear bag's great, but that toggle is huge.
Yeah. And I will say I through hiked and I hung my food every single night, but I never did like the PCT method with like the stick or a toggle. And I just recently learned that this year. And it is like, I wish I would have known, but bears are learning how to go follow the line to the other tree, and they're still taking that line down. So that's why that PCT method, or using the bear bag abductor toggle, is so much more helpful in the backcountry, because bears are teaching themselves how to get bear bags down when you're tying it off to another tree versus like using a toggle or the PCT method. So yeah.
By the way, thank you, Jameson, for the compliment. Some of you probably don't know this, but I also work for Loop Alien on the side as like a design consultant. So Chris, one of the owners, and I spent a lot of time refining that piece through 3D printing and other stuff to get it to work the way that it does. So I'm excited to be able to see that be used in kits for Ripstop. And yeah, so that's cool. It's cool to see. We actually, to test one of the final pieces, we have one hanging up in the rafters of the warehouse where we did the PCT method with a bear bag just hanging in the middle of the ceiling. And I've never tried to hit it with things.
It's been there for probably at least 5 months now.
Dude, can you carry your computer out there and just show them?
I think we're gonna have to just leave it. Like, even after we leave this building, like, we'll just leave it in the rafters for whoever, comes into this building after us.
I mean, the cool part is that the toggle has stayed there. We've hit that thing with footballs, rolls of fabric, basketballs, frisbees. It's been hit a lot of times by a lot of things. We brought a bear in.
Clearly quality tested by yours truly at Ripstop. I love that.
Also onboarding. We're also onboarding the Abductor Toggle, so people will get that fairly soon.
Yeah, we've obviously had it for a long time, and Loop Aliens carried it, but it's just one of those things that you look and you're like, wait, so we sell the bear bag with the toggle, but we don't actually just sell the toggle. Yeah, so that'll be available somewhat soon as well. Kimberly?
The Fanny Pack is my year's most influential product. And I say that because you all, specifically Carter, has made me a Fanny Pack convert, and you know that from past episodes. But I just think more people need that. I've seen how much Isaac loves his. For instance, Isaac and I were out together last night, and I drove home and I saw a Fanny Pack sticking under the seat, and I was just like, man, I'm so happy to see Fanny Packs become more of a regular thing. Everyone needs a Fanny Pack or multiple Fanny Packs in their life. So the fact that we have that now is awesome. Plus, that was a very interesting proving grounds for us as a company. We got that in pretty short notice. And I think we did a lot of good work without, there were some hiccups, but the video is awesome. The tutorial video we did. And I think there's a lot of people that are super stoked on it. We sold a lot of kits that week. So that was fun, but also I'm just happy to see more people get Fanny Packs.
I'm glad to see everybody really get in touch with true fashion, like the highest level of fashion, by wearing their blue X-Pac Fanny Pack out to the mall, to five Michelin star restaurants, if that's even a thing. I don't know.
I went hiking with two of my friends up in New Hampshire in October, and I made Fanny Packs for both of my friends I was hiking with, and we wore them around the Whites and into Littleton, New Hampshire the whole weekend. So it's not just in the Southeast or the Mid-South region, but Fanny Packs are making it across the country. We're going around.
By the way, I've now tried 2 of the beers, and they're both fire. Like 10 out of 10 would have 13 of these over 13 days, of course.
Brief update. I'm not actually a huge sour fan, but this is amazing. I would 100% drink this again. And we got to pass around to get taste around. All right. Part 2, next question. We did some user submitted questions. We just needed to get a couple of these in there. So there's some good questions in here that'll be a little bit tricky. And Carter has the first few because he's the resident expert. So Virginia Foothill Designs asks, what do you use to seal your Venom fabric? How to, please.
Yeah, so it can be sealed using anything that will stick to like DCF or a plastic like that. So like the PSA that has DCF on it, you can use that, no problem. Like the DCF repair tape is what we call it. We also have another tape coming soon that you'll also be able to use with that. It's similar, except for it doesn't use DCF on one side. It just has a plastic. So that's exciting. Also, you could use seam grip if you wanted the liquid sealant, but if you can use the tape and make it clean and nice, I don't really understand why you would put liquid stuff all over it, but that's your choice.
The first Fanny Pack that I ever made, actually the one that Jameson was talking about that I forgot in his car last night, I made it at Carter's house, and we made it with Venom. And we taped the seams with the DCF repair tape, and it's still going strong. That was probably like 7 months ago, 8 months ago.
Yeah, at least like maybe May of yeah. All right. Are there any techniques that you would include while taping, like seam rolling, anything like that? That whether it's for Virginia Foothills Design or other people, when taping, even not with Venom, just like if like 3 tips you'd be like, got to do this when taping.
I mean, sure. The first one is to clean the surface that you're working on with like some rubbing alcohol to promote adhesion as much as possible. And then secondly, I would say work in sections. So like instead of unpeeling all of the tape and then it rolls up and gets all over your, I almost said a cuss word, all over your hecking hands. And it's very annoying. You can stick the tape down and then with one hand peel some of the layer back and then lay that down and then keep going like piece by piece. Kind of like if you were taping, I don't know if people ever do this, but like taping a floor, like if you're like going to put furniture in, how you like put some of the tape down and then do a little bit more, do it that way and leave the backing on. And then lastly, I would say using like some sort of roller like the one that we sell to get all the air out. And I mean, these tapes are PSAs, which is pressure sensitive adhesive. So it's important that it gives some pressure on it. And then also finally, I said 3, but there's 4. The tape that we sell cures at room temperature over 24 hours. So it's also nice if you can let that sit for a day and that will cure to the strongest possible that way. So yeah, there's some tips. Use them. Don't. I don't really care. Actually, I do. Please use them.
I was also going to say, this is something I don't remember if it was in one of the videos that we made. I think it might have been like the using the repair tape video. But we talked about like when you have a seam, you can either like split that seam down the middle or fold both of those raw edges to one side and then tape over it. And I think it's best to fold both those over to one side so that you're not splitting that in half. So that's another thing that you can use to make that stronger.
And the 6th, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, that's actually it.
Kayla Story asks, when will you have more X50 black in stock? And in short, I'll just answer this because it's very easy. We will be getting it back in stock. I do not have a specific date for you, but we will be keeping it and we will have more soon. But short answer, I know it's not as detailed as you want, but we don't control all the things, unfortunately, not as much as we would hope. Next question. Also,
last thing I would say is that for any questions like that, it's definitely best to like reach out to our help desk. You can get a much more direct reply that way for something like that. Because, yeah, I'm smart, but I don't know everything.
Because you do know almost everything, Kayla Story also asks, any plans to carry X51 in the future?
Potentially, it's one that we've talked about bringing on. So basically, for those of you that don't know, it's very similar to X50, except for I think it's like 500 by 1,000. So it's like a mix of those two. I see that probably being something that we bring on, but it wouldn't be a top priority just because we have the X50, which is very similar in terms of what most people are buying. However, as we build out like bushcraft stuff and get into some tactical stuff, then I think maybe we might consider adding some more stuff. I said stuff 9 times. Some more products that will be like that.
Thanks,
you, Kayla.
Yeah, thank you for sending those questions in. Next question isn't as much of a question as it is a statement, but what is that? Parade set tactical?
Yeah,
Paradise?
It was Paradise Tactical.
Paradise with a Y.
Yeah.
What? That's it.
What the flip? Did you just say Paradisidius? What?
Paradisius.
Like some sort of mushroom you shouldn't eat.
Amazing user said, we want more MultiCam products, webbing, etc. I gave them a little bit more emphasis there. But yeah, first of all, my answer to your question is, what do you think of the current MultiCams? Do you like those? And do you all have anything to add to this statement?
For sure. I mean, if Isaac has anything to say about it, we'll add as much MultiCam as possible. Certainly something for all of the more popular camos that we're not currently printing on. We want to carry those patterns across the highly technical fabrics, which I think is the important part, right? We could carry multicam and like, I don't know. I don't think they make denim. I'm sure they do, and I bet it's hideous or it's great. But yeah, we want to carry multicam also. It's just a matter of deciding which ones, because a lot of those, because of the licensing of that pattern, it's very expensive. So we want to make sure that we bring on stuff that you guys want, and that doesn't limit us on bringing on other stuff.
Not just stuff that Isaac will only use himself.
We know that you want to have a full multicam jumpsuit and probably some underoos as well. But
I mean, I kind of already have a full multicam jumpsuit because of my part-time job.
Multicam black? No.
True.
Heck of an environment you got there. All right. So there's 2 questions from users anonymous, but they're really good questions. And I kind of want to keep them, but we got to keep it short. So we can answer one of the following. You can't answer both. These are the 2 questions. 1, favorite thing that you've made this past year. So favorite item that you have personally sewed. The other question is best outdoor purchase of 2021. So again, you have to answer one for the sake of time. We'd love to have a 3-hour episode, but that's not today. So you have to choose one of those, either one, favorite thing you made or your favorite purchase of the year. Carter, I feel like you're probably ready for this already.
And keep it short.
Definitely, without a doubt, unequivocally. I was just trying to say more words to keep it short. Multiple backcountry bidets of different shapes, styles, and colors and materials.
It's the best one, though.
Oh, they're all glorious. I highly recommend both putting a bidet attachment on your toilets in your house, as well as looking into options for backcountry cleanliness.
Is there one that we could link in the show notes to tell people?
Yeah, I'll give a few so that I'm not singling out anybody, but I'll give you guys that after this.
As long as it's brief.
I don't wear briefs.
Link in the show notes for Carter's best backcountry bidets, and he's experienced, so he'll only give you good ones.
What you got, Osbone?
I'm going to answer both these questions, but it's still going to be shorter than what Carter just said. Yeah. So they both go together. My best outdoor purchase of 2021 was my 2022 Nissan Frontier, because it is going to take me to new frontiers. And my best product that I made this year was for the truck. I made some X50, like basically giant ZPPs to keep under the seats for like tool storage and stuff like that. So, yeah.
When you were making those and you didn't tell us what they were, and Carter and I saw you cutting this pattern out, and we were both like, what kind of crazy bleep ZPP is this guy making? And he started like putting, it was wild, but they were fantastic and they fit amazing.
You see someone with like a 14-foot ZPP like zipper pouch. I'm like, dude, I think that was supposed to be like in millimeters. You kind of did it in feet.
I would say that probably the best thing I made this year, that's the answer I'd like to go with. I got to finally make my own backpack. I've made backpacks before, but they were kind of just, I really wanted to enjoy the making process and make something. But Carter helped me design one for hiking specifically. And I was able to take that to New Hampshire and use it in the whites. And it was fun to fully design something from front, from beginning to end, my fabrics and everything like that. And that thing's amazing. I've never had probably a project that has been that well completed. There's always one thing that I kind of made an exception on, or maybe I messed something up. But that one is like kind of just perfect all the way through. So I was able to use some DCF. I got a special stretch mesh. It was like a G hook for the outside pocket. I made the lines look nice. Has a reach around pocket on the bottom. I used Nashville pack straps and their attachment system. Just some really good stuff that I loved. But their straps in particular were amazing and were really quintessential to that pack. So yeah, that was a huge one for me.
I'd say real quick, I think that's just a good just nod to our like developmental process. Like we are all DIYers, and before we onboarded some of these new components, like you couldn't get all of those things from RBTR's website. So we're super excited to like move forward. If you want to build a backpack, you can get everything you need from us. Like that's the point.
My best outdoor purchase is probably that Lawson equipment bear line that Carter actually sent me in. I got a few people to buy it, and it is highly, highly reflective. So that's the best thing. I'm just spending money to save a few grams, basically, but it was worth it. Glides real nice. Goes with my principles of L&T.
Love it.
And it's so brief. Look at that. Okay, so part 3 is favorite moment of the RBTR year. So this can be anything as it relates to the company, just a favorite moment or a connection that you have or of a memory to something that made you really positive about what the company did. But first, we got to pass beers around because I need to try yours. So do a quick little toss.
I think Avery should go first on this one.
Okay, so I think my favorite moment of the RBTR year, I actually just had one come top of mind as I was saying that. Mine was relating to the adventure sponsorship, just being able to connect with so many different makers and adventurers and watch their kind of plan come to fruition. There is one special shout out because when we were going through adventure sponsorships and all of this, we had an applicant come through and her name was Araceli. And we kept in contact with her and she successfully through hiked the Appalachian Trail. But I ran into her at Trail Days when we were there repping for Ripstop and I just caught her off guard and I was like, that's her. And I just like yelled her name from across the street and had to get her some Ripstop swag and things like that. But it was just really good to see like the people that we talk to virtually in person. And it's always fun when it's unexpected. So that's my favorite moment.
Adventure sponsorship stuff has been really, really cool. You guys have done an awesome job with that. It's been exciting to kind of see a different facet of, I think in the past we've done a good job, but a lot of taking photos of just like maybe Kyle's hand holding a piece of fabric. So it's really cool to kind of see us diversify into people going on like actual adventures and getting to know those people through what we do. So sweet.
That's a good segue. We just got the thumbs up today from Upper Level People that the adventure sponsorship is adjusting some, but it will be a go for 2022. So if you're looking to be an adventure sponsor, or as we'll be calling in next year, a maker sponsor, then look to apply approximately around January, like 11th, not to be specific or anything, but around there.
Awesome. What was your favorite moment, Jameson?
There we go. My favorite, I had troubles with the mute button there. My favorite moment of the year was definitely the 1-year anniversary episode. Similar to you, Avery, it can be hard as an e-commerce company to not engage with people on the other side of what we do. Like we see it on Instagram and it's always cool when you see a cool video or a photo, but it means a lot more when you actually connect with somebody. And I had some serious FOMO after some of the team was able to go hang out with people at OR, but we were able to chat with Matt in person-ish on Zoom, but for the 1-year anniversary episode, which was incredibly fun. And if you haven't listened to it, go check it out, episode 28. But it was just, we got to talk with Matt twice over a couple of weeks on Zoom. We chatted for a while. We had a group text going there for a while. And it was just fun to chat with other makers and just be silly with people that that we are able to impact in that way. So that was awesome. Isaac?
So I think my favorite part of the year was actually the RBTR Christmas party. And I say that just because a lot of what we do is focused on our customer. And, that's great. Like we are here to serve the customer. We're here to make their DIY journey come true. But there's also a lot of really cool people that work for Ripstop. And the Christmas party was just a great opportunity for everybody to get together and hang out and drink drinks and play games and do cool stuff.
You're saying that like RBTR is MYOG Disney? You said make dreams come true? Is that...
I mean, kind of. Yeah, like people come to our website and all of their dreams come true.
Mickey Mouse.
Kyle.
False.
It's 100% goofy, first off. I actually don't know, I almost cussed again. I don't know anything about Disney, really. Nothing. Please don't come at me. People out there that are like freaky little weirdos and go there 700 times a year. I respect you, I guess. I'm not saying I know nothing, okay? But yeah, I wouldn't even know how to accurately characterize us as characters because I don't even know the characters. I know they all have like pretty weird voices though.
Tobacco Road will be like Disneyland though, right?
Like how my dad calls Sierra Nevada, like the brewery near where he lives in Mills River, North Carolina. He calls it Malt Disney World. That's kind of sick. That's a very dad thing, but it's cool.
Greatest name I've heard. Carter, favorite moment of the RBTR year?
Yeah, so mine, I would say there are a lot of moments, but this is a continuing moment, I think, and those are the best kind, right? Which I think doesn't make sense. We recently brought on a new member of staff here at Ripstop, Jason Smith, who is our new general manager. And so far, it's been really exciting to get to work with him. And I can already see that he's making an impact, which will ultimately trickle down to the people listening to this. So, yeah, my favorite moment was just being able to make some really good hires and bring people in that make the Disney MYOG or whatever you said even more magical.
It's one of the most like forward-thinking, sustainable moves that I've made in a while. Like the building is big, but like having additional people come in that have like proven experience and other hires that we had, it's such like a forward step as an internal somebody on the inside of the company to be like, oh sweet, we're going in the right direction. Reassuring to everyone listening because of the new products we got on, because the new products we have so far down the pipeline that will be coming on. It's all, it's a trickle down effect of the good people we've got. The final segment is, what are you looking forward to in 2022? Like we said, we onboarded 56 different products in 2021, and we have all new hires in 2021, and hopefully 2022 is way better. So just to preface this a little bit and to foreshadow for people to get, them a little bit excited about what's to come, what are we looking forward to? Avery?
That's a great question because there are a lot of times that I don't even know what is to come in 2022. So I'm looking forward to, just having an awesome year and meeting more of our potential adventure sponsors and working with people. I think next year I think every year we get better, but I think we have a lot of cool things in the works in terms of social media and marketing and content. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, no one asked me to go, but I just chose to. Is that okay? All right.
Do it.
Approved.
Okay. I'm most excited to not just move into the new building because there's going to be a while where that's not going to be the most exciting because construction is happening in 2 phases. So the first phase will be done. But what I'm really excited for is the second phase of construction, which includes like a really awesome content creation space, like specific only for that. And then also a maker space, as we've coined it. That's literally just like the dream world of designing and prototyping and stuff like that. And I'm extremely excited to be able to do that because I think we've done an awesome job with what we have. Specifically, Avery and Jameson have done a great job with working with what we've got to work with. But having if we want to create the best content and the best products possible, we have to have a space that's designed to do that ultimately. So I'm pretty hyped for that. However, for like the next 6 months, I'm pretty sure that we're in like a prison trailer out back. So that's going to be interesting. I'm sure we'll have some good behind the scenes videos of what that's going to be like. There are actually bars on the windows. So kind of hyped for that because I'm feel like a bad boy.
Kind of reminds me of like a bug out shelter. There's like bars in the windows. It's like indestructible. It's just a big old canister.
I put 500 Mountain House meals in there last night for us so we can, if anything happens.
What y'all didn't know is that's like the real reason I was trying to get, all the MultiCam Fabrics brought on, so we can like really get into this bug out scene.
Do they make building shaped ghillie suits? Just like John Cena's face all over it? Sorry.
Yeah, they're called camo nets.
That sounds way stupider than I thought it would.
I'm really excited also about the new building. For the content creation space is going to be amazing, but that really just pertains to us. The thing that I'm excited about for our customers and the MYOG world are, I'm sort of foreshadowing here, which might be aggressive, but I'm imagining at some point in 2022, COVID will be more of a historical place and less in a forefront. And we'll be able to have some in-person events. I'm kind of imagining a place where we can go on MYOG bike rides and do stuff, some in-person events with makers in the area. And for all the reasons that we said previously, I would love to get to see some of our makers in person more and connect with people in a meaningful way, not just over a podcast or over social media.
Yeah, and that actually sparked an idea that maybe we could pursue later, is that people could pay to make something and then have me ridicule it right in front of them. It's like, you come into the maker space, I will Gordon Ramsay you. Like, I'm just saying.
I think it'd be more enjoyable if you were more like Simon Cowell. Yeah,
I mean, you get paid to do that, right? Like, you literally get paid by the company for me to ridicule you all day long. That's pretty great. And true. I get paid to do it. It's awesome.
Yeah, the ridicule never stops.
I thought you legitimately had something good to say. I got so disappointed, Carter.
What are you trying to say, dog? What do you mean legitimately? I have a beautiful mind.
Isaac, what's your thing?
Let's see. I'm super excited about new cordage options. We're gonna be bringing on some like reflective shock cord and draw cord, stuff like that. So that's gonna be really cool. New high-tech fabrics. Enough said there. And I'm really, really looking forward to like working with some of the pattern makers that are out there. In addition to like Bag Buff, and green pepper patterns that we already offer on our website, but some of the other pattern makers out there, like Learn MYOG and Zipworks. Like, I really think it'd be cool if we could, get together with them and offer some stuff that is like specific to their patterns.
Early 2021, we are releasing new components. We've got some more fabrics coming out, or early 2022. I'm sorry, early 2022.
Time is just a construct.
There'll be new fabrics coming out on the second week of 2022. New components coming out the second week. The fabric is the 18th, new components 13th. So there's new stuff coming right out of the new year, and a lot more to come after that. Is there anything else that we can hint at?
Yeah, I mean, the fabric that's coming out is recycled X-Pac, so that's going to be sick. I'm really excited for that. We've had some sample yardage for a while, and we've made a lot of stuff with it. And I got to say, it's by far the best looking X-Pac in my opinion. The face the recycled face is just.
It's also tapeable.
Yeah, it's also tapeable. The recycled face though is just like matte. It just looks really high quality. And yeah, I'm excited for people to have access to that. And I'm also really excited to be carrying. And this will be a trend that you will see even more than you can imagine. Is just thinking about things more sustainably and adding eco fabrics, recycled fabrics, and cordage and components. You'll see a lot more of that this year, hopefully.
Yeah, I made a fanny pack out of that fabric already. It's delightful.
Was there anything else that you wanted to get approval that I could hint at?
I like it.
Okay.
Good stuff. You were on mute the whole time, Isaac.
Isaac tries to tell a joke, forgets to unmute himself, so he's just...
Say that again, Isaac.
I like it a lot.
It really hits different the second time.
Hey, close us out, Avery.
Can I actually say one more thing that I'm looking forward to? Yep. I'm looking forward to having a podcast setup where I don't have to press the space bar every time I want to talk, because half the time I forget to press the space bar.
This is an open call. If you are an audio engineer and you are listening to this podcast, or you have an interest in audio engineering, then email social@ripstopbytheroll.com right now. Do not wait.
I will give you a discount if you help us, and probably other stuff too. That sounded weird. Other products and things. But seriously, yeah, help us.
that's another thing that we are looking forward to for 2022 is constantly evolving the podcast. I know our first episode was wretched. And there's still, we have
still is really, if you think about it.
We have some technical things that pop up here and there. So if you've listened to us from day one and you're still with us, thank you for being a loyal listener over a year later into episode 33. But we appreciate everyone's support over the past year for Ripstop and also for the podcast Ripstop on the Record. And we are really excited for 2022, like we mentioned. And our first episode will be all about your questions and the maker questions. So something to look forward to. Don't forget to send us in your questions. And most importantly, don't forget to rate and subscribe and review our podcast. We would love to see your kind reviews in Apple.
Can you imagine the poor soul somebody that's listened to every single episode?
Yeah, me twice.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was on the damn episode. It's horrible.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you in the new year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Remember the Alamo as well.